So if you can get him into the air, he has a chance of picking up a foul on him.
That's what Trevor Torrance does best, and that's what the Wildcats do best, that run and stun. We have a timeout at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre.
The championships were some very fond memories. First one particularly, more so for me, but even the early years. We went from 0 to 1,000, and as a 20-year-old man, it was a lot, but it was incredible. Unfortunately, in the 80s and 90s, that's when HIV and AIDS hit the society at large. It was bad enough being a gay man in a sport in the 80s and 90s, but then that, and there was a lot of fear created through media and everything, and in some ways it was somewhat understandable because there were many questions and not enough answers. There was a lot of blame that it was a gay disease, and then there was this element of sweat and saliva and you could catch it. So I had a partner. I was constantly living in fear. Am I putting my team at risk? Am I putting myself at risk? And I'd have tests all the time. And tests in those days would take 2 weeks to come back. So I'd live 14 days in terror, not sleeping. And that impacts you as a human being, but it impacts your playing and your training. And so I was constantly like this. I stepped away, well and truly away, and I did that for my own mental health. And I also had a lot of animosity towards the sport. I felt like I'd given more of myself than I should have. And I blamed, which was lack of maturity, really. But now I've kind of, I've worked through all of that. The sport gave me so much. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for all of that. So, yeah, thankfully I let go of blame and stepped into just owning stuff. Last year was, to be honest, a little bit terrifying to tell that story, but now I feel like I want to do more. The Red Army and the Perth community, they just embraced me. It felt like I'd come home. Australia is a sporting nation. We should really have to have these pride and Indigenous and these sort of rounds, but we do. The purpose, I think, is to start conversations, to try and break down some barriers and to open up dialogue that stops fear and judgment and blame and starts bringing more of an inclusive society. Just a huge thank you to the NBL, to the Wildcats, and to the community and to the Wildcat supporters, the supporters around the nation. Thank you for supporting this round, and if you're not a supporter, then maybe open up and see what's possible.